Hello, everyone. This is Antoinette, and the time is minute before 2:30. We're at 2:29, August the 18th, 2024. So I'm excited to bring you this video just because the Parole in Place, Keeping Families Together initiative introduced by the Biden-Harris administration. Applications open up tomorrow. So it's a really important day tomorrow for this initiative. If you've already started preparing, good for you. You can submit your I-131F on tomorrow. If you haven't started, it's still not too late. You still have opportunity to gather all of your documents together, which we'll go over here shortly. So let's go ahead and get started in the video. And because we do have a little bit to cover with everything that's going on with this initiative. So if you want to find it yourself, you can put in the search bar. This is the USCIS website. You can just put in here, Parole in Place, Keeping Families Together, right? I'm just going to research it. You can click on this. It's one of the first ones to come up. And then you have all the information here, okay? Okay, so over the summer, and it talks about it here in this paragraph, President Biden introduced this initiative to help keep families together during the adjustment of status process. So if you had a family member who has not been admitted to the U.S. or properly paroled into the U.S., but they are here, and this person is married to a U.S. citizen, then this initiative is a way for that person to apply for adjustment of status without having to go back to their home country and applying through consular processing. So as of now, before this initiative, that was the process for someone who was not legally paroled and was not legally admitted to the U.S. And that would, of course, break families apart just because, for example, if you had a U.S. citizen husband, you had a non-U.S. citizen wife, and they had children, but that non-U.S. citizen wife wanted to adjust, she would have had to go back home to do that. But this is an effort to allow her to stay in the United States while she's applying for that adjustment of status without having to separate the family. So we're pretty excited about this initiative, and there's still a lot to learn about it. It's brand new. Like I said, it was just introduced over the summer. It says June 18, 2024. So the Department of Homeland Security, they estimate about 500,000 non-U.S. citizen children or spouses rather would be eligible, and about 50,000 of non-U.S. citizen children. So actually that would be the stepchildren of a U.S. citizen would potentially be eligible. So we're talking about quite a big number of people who potentially be eligible under this program, especially with the administration changes coming later on in the year. It could affect potentially how quickly these are processed. We hope not. But we just want to be aware of all of the things that are going on. But at any rate, let's just take a look a little bit at what the requirements are for this. They also published a guide, which was really great. So let's look at, and we'll take a look at the guide as well, but let's look at the eligibility requirements. So we'll start with the spouse of we'll start with the non-U.S. citizen spouse of a U.S. citizen. These are the requirements. And again, all of this is discretionary. And that means that it's based on the merits of your case, how well you can prove your case. It's up to USCIS whether or not to grant you this relief. Even if you check each and every one of these requirements, it's still discretionary. So it's very important that you have great documents, that you are able to prove each one of these elements very well, and that you can really present a solid case to USCIS so that they feel convinced enough to go ahead and approve your case. But the requirements are, number one, you must be present in the United States without admission or parole. If you were admitted or paroled, there is already avenues out there for you to adjust. So the requirement of this particular program is that you must be present in the United States without admission or parole. That's number one. You have to have been continuously present for the last 10 years. So we're talking about as of June 17, 2024. So since June 17, 2014, you had to have been in the United States continuously present from that date. Okay. All right. And finally, you have to have a valid marriage to a U.S. citizen as of June 17th, 2024. And they didn't have this as a bullet point, but this is equally as important. You could not have a disqualifying criminal history, or you cannot constitute a threat to national security or public safety, otherwise you should be able to allow the USCIS, your case should allow the USCIS officer to merit a favorable exercise of discretion. So all of this is up to their discretion. If you are in removal proceedings, you are still eligible. If you receive a removal order, you are still eligible. The thing to be cautious with this particular form of relief is because it does draw attention to you and in your current status. Okay, so I just pulled up the filing guide, and this is also on the USCIS website. It kind of walks you through those requirements we talked about. All right, so this is a breakdown of the information that you must provide. So at a minimum, this is the required information that USCIS needs to see with your application. I'm not going to read through all of it, but this is, basic things that you would usually include on any sort of USCIS application. In addition to that, it goes on to say, where is it? Okay, identity. You need to provide evidence of your spouse's or step-parent's citizenship. Again, if you're the biological child of a U.S. citizen, then you're already a U.S. citizen. But we're talking about the stepchildren of a U.S. citizen, right? So in that example I gave, the mom is a non-U.S. citizen, and that's your biological mother, but your mother married a U.S. citizen. So now that U.S. citizen is your stepfather. So if you're a stepchild of a U.S. citizen, then you could be eligible for this particular relief. And we'll go into more of what the requirements for the stepchildren are in a second. But you need to provide evidence of your relationship to the U.S. citizen, your physical presence. So remember, you have to have been continuously present since June in the United States since June 17th, 2014. So that's 10 years ago. From 10 years ago to June 14th, 2024. That's 10 years of continuous presence. You can submit any additional evidence demonstrating significant public benefit or urgent humanitarian reasons that warrant granting your parole, and other additional and favorable discretionary factors that you would like USCIS to consider. This is where you get to differentiate yourself from other individuals who are submitting their applications with this discretionary factors that you're permitted to provide. Okay. So this is all on the USCIS website for you to view. Now, for the stepchildren, let me see if I can find in this guide as well, because I'm pretty sure it's in here. Stepchildren have kind of different. Okay, so if you are a stepchild of a U.S. citizen, then you are required to, the continuous present requirement is the same. However, the non-U.S. citizen parent has to have had a valid marriage to your step parent on or before June 17, 2024, and before your being the stepchild's 18th birthday. All right, so that's the requirement there for the stepchild. All right, let's take a look at the actual form, because they posted the form. The name of the form is the I-131F. Let's see if that form, that was the same filing guide. Let's see if we can find it in forms. Okay, maybe it's not available yet. Let's see here. Maybe the form's not available yet. So this guide, this is probably all you're going to have access to right now. If anyone was able to actually pull up the form, please let me know. But anyway, yeah, I think they gave us this preview because they may or may not allow the form before tomorrow, since the application officially opens up tomorrow, which it makes sense. But anyway, so I do want to say, with any legal action, there's always a risk with any legal action you take. That's why it's very important to talk to a licensed attorney before you take any action. But essentially, you're drawing attention to yourself when you apply for this relief. So that's something you and your attorney need to really consider, whether your case warrants, meets the level to where it's appropriate to apply, and whether you've weighed the risks involved. So again, everything in this video is for informational purposes. Although I am an attorney and I'm licensed to practice in the state of Texas for immigration, that's all over the country since it's federal, that does not mean that this is information specific to your case. So make sure that you actually speak either with us or you get an attorney, even if it's someone else, to talk about your specific details of your case, so that you're not filing something and you wish you hadn't. So just make sure that you're kind of aware of all of the advantages and disadvantages before you seek this form of relief. Okay, so that is it for the parole in place. I'm going to keep you all updated as I get more information once this opens up, to see what comes out of it. Definitely keep you all in the loop. If you think that you qualify but you're not quite sure, you're welcome to send us an email, contact@mazelawyer.com. We can set up a call and we can talk about the details of your case to give you a little bit more information. Again, my information is at the bottom of the screen, contact@mazelawyer.com. Also, our phone number is right there, so that you can get some information before you begin on this portion. So I just wanted to also give some announcements. If you are in Houston, Texas, we are based in Houston. If you are in Houston, Texas, we have a couple of events going on with the Houston Haitians United organization. Let me see if I can go to there. All right. So this is the website for HHU, If you want to go to their calendar, go to events. You can scroll all the way down. So the back to school drive they had, it was very, very good. So another event coming up August 24th, Wakaiman, that's going to actually be held in Killeen. But if you're in Houston and you want to get there, they are offering transportation to that event there and back the same day. So if you are in Houston, there is a general body meeting for the organization being held on the 14th. And the information will be updated on this calendar, as well as Expresión de Haití, which is a cultural celebration of all things Haitian, great food, art, and it's really kind of like the big event of the year. It's more formal. So we want to invite everyone out. Again, this is a really great organization. Even if you're not Haitian, I'm a member. I'm not Haitian, but I do appreciate everything that they do in the community. It's a really cool organization, and it's you'll meet some really great people. So anyway, yes, if you have any other questions regarding the parole in place, please feel free to reach out to us. That's contact@mazelawyer.com. I'm trying to put it up one more time. Okay. Make sure that you check out the filing guide as well. It has some great information there. Okay, everyone. We are about 17 minutes into this video, so we're going to go ahead and cut it short. You all have a great week ahead. Goodbye now.